What's up, guys? This is Thag with Thag's Dino Reviews and Paleopolitics. Today we've got a very special dinosaur to look at. Mattel's Hammond Collection Carnotaurus. And it is a real beauty. Now a lot of you are probably saying right now, Thag, watch out for Carnotaurus. But not to worry, it is a plastic model. No danger. On the other hand, why take chances? Now, I know that most of you have already seen many reviews on Carnotaurus. So today, I am only going to go over what I think are 3 minor faults and a whole lot of reasons why you should own this model and have it in your collection. The faults are really very minor and not a game changer. Now we're going to start with the 3 negatives and then we'll wind up with the positives. Now the first negative are the eyes. They're glass eyes. They've got a beautiful vertical pupil and they're a dark green, and I like them. Contrary to what I'm going to tell you next, I did not change them. I do have a replacement set of eyes, but I can't pull myself to do it. The one negative, the big factor is that even though I love the way the pupil follows you around the room when you're looking at the animal from different angles, the fact of the matter is that from certain vantage points, the pupil disappears completely. And it is set very far back in the eye, to be completely honest. Now, from this vantage point, for example, you can't see the pupil at all. It's completely gone. And the eyes are a bit dark. Now that may have mimicked the living animal, I'm not completely sure. However, they seem dark, a little bit lighter eye with a little bit more outward facing pupil, and I think they would have hit it right on the money. But nonetheless, I just really don't want to change them. I like them that much. The next problem is the forearms. They're just simply too big. And I understand the marketing ploy. You want arms and stuff that the kids can move. But you've got to remember, this is marketed as an adult collectible also. So it seems strange that they have made models in the past of Carnotaurus that had arms that were much more appropriately sized. So I'm a bit taken back that these are as big as they are. But nonetheless, they are a minor detractant to the model in general. Now, in the living animal, the forearms, the radius and the ulna, were considerably reduced. As a matter of fact, they were about the same size as the wrist bones. Therefore, the arm basically hung to the back and was tucked in fairly close to the body and very small. These are just simply too big, really. That brings us to our final negative, and that is simply the lack of a dark wash to enhance the scales. Most manufacturers, although not all, are using this technique to really get the scales to stand out. Now, I don't know in the case of Mattel whether that's a real big problem or not, but if any of you paint engineers at Mattel are listening, it's a big deal with model collectors, and it really does enhance the animal. This one has a great paint job. It's just that I feel that the scalation would have been enhanced had it had the dark wash. Most model collectors and even sculptors themselves agree that when the scales are enhanced, the animal, or the model in this case, assumes a real organic quality, and I do agree with that completely. All right, that concludes the negatives, and now we're going to go ahead with the positives and the reason why you should have this animal in your collection. All right, that brings us to the positives, and we begin at the skull itself. First, all of the proportions are really correct, and the size and shape of the skull, to the mandible, to the dentition, and to the scalation and horns. It's really very well sculpted. All right, from this point we continue across the neck, and you can see some spinal derms and osteoderms starting near the top of the skull. I'll get to those in just a moment. And we also see the start of the paint scheme, and basically it's a dark orange undercoat, almost a rust color, covered by a really dark brown, almost dark gray vertical striping pattern, and it's really well done. In addition to that, as I've said before, the counter shading starts under the mandible and continues down the neck, down the chest, and across the stomach. The scalation continues across the torso and goes onto the legs and eventually to the tail. The paint job shows the same vertical striping across the torso and eventually to the upper portion of the rear legs. Also, take note at this time that I have changed the original feet to feet from Ceratec that have articulated claws, and the reason is it's so much nicer in stop motion. Still, all the original Mattel sculpts were proportional. Here we have an excellent dorsal view of the spinal derms and the two flanking rows of osteoderms across the back. The excellent paint job continues across the back to the hips. Oh, okay, I'm good. No, really, I'm good. This is an excellent view of the counter shading. Now, the cloaca is not present, and the counter shading unfortunately does not extend under the tail. However, the sculpt of the tail looks very good. It has the continuing scalation all the way to the end and a series of random osteoderms. The two-tone paint pattern on the top, the darker colors, only extend out about half the length of the tail. Nonetheless, the tail is very proportional to the model. It looks great. Here's one more look at the Ceratec Pez with their articulated digits, and they make all the difference in the world. I highly recommend these. So there you have it. A truly remarkable model that is more than worthy of being a part of your collection. Yeah, there are some minor details that could be upgraded, but these to me are not a game changer. This is still ranks as one of the best Carnotaurus sculpts that I've ever seen. Mattel engineers, if you are listening, 1, better glass eyes, 2, dark wash to enhance the scales, and 3, more points of articulation. And for the rest of you, I am going to be releasing another video in a few weeks. I call it the Mid-Mesozoic Speculative Extinction Event. And the name of it will be titled The Brontosaur in the Bolide. So, until then, this is Thag for Thag Dino Reviews and Paleopolitics, and I'll catch you on the rebound.